Hello and welcome back to FrogClan. Today we are picking up here into Moon 72. I do think, this is our current clan by the way, I do think we're going to go ahead and proceed all the way until Moon 89 in today's episode, and then we'll pick up next time with our next extinction event. So this could be really long or could be kind of short depending on how fast the patrols go. I'll be hitting up the events every moon, of course, as well as really noticeable patrols or statuses, but a lot of other stuff is probably going to get skipped just in the sake of time. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and start off this time with a time skip. It looks like nothing very extensive has happened, luckily. Wisteria Star has gotten a running nose, and Dunebrier's infection has gone. So that should be good here. I'm going to take a quick scroll through here. As always, if you see anything in this, please let me know. If you hear anything in the background, River has appropriated a dice or two. And so she's knocking that everywhere. It's not me rolling for extra stuff. Vogember is still injured with a broken bone. We've been having some medicine cat shuffles going on, so hopefully Vogember will get healed up here shortly, and then we can be back to our duties as usual. Brighthorn is currently helping out, which is our bloodthirsty medicine cat that we moved to warrior back to medicine cat now. Merkpraw's also got a broken bone. It's been a second since I picked up FrogClan, but I hadn't realized that Vogember, Dunebriar, and Merkpaw all had broken bones, and Bristle Splash actually. So we've got a lot of broken bones, it seems. Patrols were pretty quiet that time. Just apprentices training, and we caught a turtle. Okay, so moving into Moon 74 here. Wisteria Star calls the clan to meeting and declares Crabpaw to be a warrior. They are now called Crab Smoke and are celebrated for their cunning, which is a very interesting image for Crab Smoke. Sniphusk overdid their last sparring session and has been wincing all day. They're a bit scraped up. Brighthorn overexerted themselves and is feeling a bit sore. Timetail's running nose is gone. Poolpaw fought a dog, but was barely even hurt. They're a bit bruised, but bruises are better than claw marks. Bristle Splash pads along on all four legs for the first time in a long time, wincing. Their healed broken bone has definitely left the leg weaker, but it's manageable as far as they're concerned. It honestly sounds like Bristle Splash may have been using their legs sooner than they should have been, just because everybody seemed to have gotten their bones hurt about the same time. But Bristle Splash is now up. She's a very pretty cat. So she now has a permanent condition, being a weak leg. I do think I'll count that since it leaves a scar for random mutation, so I'll go ahead and roll for something on that leg. And it could well end up just being that she gets the weaker leg or injury or something anyway. Well, really the closest thing to leg would be body or paw, so I'll roll 50-50 between those two and then I'll roll for the actual trait. So she actually gets something on her body, and she has a small body. I'd almost forgotten again. I forgot to remove Scaly Tail from Iris Paw's notes there. There we go. Okay. Thank you to those who pointed that out last time. Sorry if I sound like really hoarse or kind of gross today. We had a fire alarm late into the night last night, and my throat's just been not quite the same. No one's hurt, though. Oh, Wisteria Star has a crazed look in their eyes. Brighthorn's debating becoming a warrior. I'm curious to see if she would end up pushing to become a warrior on her own. She is only temporarily a warrior regardless, because Fog Ember is our medicine cat, but Fog Ember can't take care of anybody right now. Chirp Mark is telling the warriors to get ready for battle. Makes me wonder if she knows something the rest of us don't. So here's Crabbed Smoke. This little spot here kind of looks like a fishy, doesn't it? But here's Crabbed Smoke, and despite being 11 moons herself, she is engaging the other apprentices in a very, very tall tale. She ended up being lonesome and a great climber. And her traits are that she has a narrow head and tattered ears. She's kind of left Merkpaw behind, but Merkpaw does have a broken bone, so Merkpaw was pretty much always going to get left behind there. Nothing very notable there, just what people are craving. Ninetail and Brighthorn together gather some wild garlic and oak leaves. Trailing behind the patrol, the dune they are crossing shifts beneath Poolpaw's paws. They look around wildly for safe footing, just as the sand caves in beneath them and the world goes dark. Their clanmates come running at their yowls, and Poolpaw is soon freed, shaken but unharmed. Patrol settles down as everyone comforts each other. Luckily, that didn't end poorly. Sometimes we can't get to that cat in time. Notice the FrogClan patrol renewing their scent marks ahead. As we get closer, the patrol leader from FrogClan gives Wisteria's Star a respectful nod, which they return. Patrols refocus on their tasks, but a feeling of mutual respect has been fostered and relationships improve. I'm glad that we sent Wisteria's Star along on that, because his trait of eloquent speaker is going to really help those out. And he should generally take lead over Chirp Mark, who is bloodthirsty and would probably ruin some relationships. So Bristle Splash and Acorn Crest are coming back with a haul of fish and see a pot of dolphins chattering at them. Bristle Splash offers the dolphins some of their fish catch. Good relations with the dolphins are more important than the few fish. But they're surprised to see the dolphins offering a few soggy wet earths back in return, and they accept them with grace and gratitude. The dolphins have given us elder leaves. Never doubt the dolphins, I guess. Okay, so looks like we've all got health-related things here anyway. Wisteria's Star's running nose has finally stopped running. Snip Husk's grapes are gone. Brighthorn feels much better, their soreness is gone. Fog Emperor's broken bone is healed. Dunebriar pads along on all four legs for the first time in a long time, wincing. Their healed broken bone has definitely left the leg weaker, but it's manageable as far as they are concerned. Poolpaw is no longer bruised. So that's now 2 cats that we have with permanent leg weakness. I know that they really increased the chances of injuries having an extra effect, because before it just wouldn't ever be a thing, really. But it almost feels a little too harsh now, with how frequently broken bones seem to come along. So here's Dunebriar. Does have a weak leg. Looks like that's her front right. She's currently challenging some clanmates to a sparring match, 2-on-1. So she is going to get a condition. So at least that's something to balance out the normal cat thing. And just like before, I think we'll roll between paw and body. But I think that's probably closer to paw than anything. We'll see though. Oh no! So Dunebriar did not roll very well there. Dunebriar got the negative paw trait, so she just has a missing paw there. So that is that. Wisteria's Star is currently eavesdropping on Bristle Splash. Sniphusk is assigning cats to Dawn Patrol. Fog Ember is back up and running, and is eavesdropping on Chirp Mark. But because of that, I think we will go ahead and switch Brighthorn back to where she would like to be, in the Warriors Den. Chirp Mark wants to go on a patrol with Hairpaw. Hairpaw is Chirp Mark's apprentice, so I don't see any reason why we couldn't do that. So here's Crabbed Smoke all grown up. She wants to get to know Merkpaw better, who should also be grown up, being her sibling. Yep, so there's Merkpaw, who has changed now from bloodthirsty to insecure, interested in herbs. Let's see here. Oh, wow. So Merkpaw here looks like an all-black cat, but this is what Merkpaw is going to look like healthy, it looks like. Merkpaw is a very pretty cat. I'm very curious to see what his full name's going to be. He's got a little while to go. Since he needs to be about 54 to graduate, he's only really halfway there. Hairpaw is also offering to go on patrol today. So Chirpmark wants to bring Hairpaw with her, and Hairpaw wants to go with Chirpmark, so it kind of makes me feel like maybe they are doing something here. And we'll go ahead and do our patrols then. So Fog Ember and Bristle Splash go out to gather some herbs. Bristle Splash is concerned about their legacy and what comes after death. Fog Ember discusses with them that the end of their life did not mean it was a true end. And even StarClan cats had their roles to play. Comforted, Bristle Splash thanks Fog Ember and they head back with herbs, mullein, and tansy. Dunebriar spies a fat rabbit on the other side of Raccoon Clan. It's a tempting opportunity, but it may not be wise to hunt on different clans' territory. So we do still have patrol passes. For year 6, that brings us moons 73 to 84. And we haven't yet used any. That being said, I'd rather risk upsetting another clan than losing cats on a patrol like this where it's like a storm extinction flood thing. So I think we'll just proceed here. Our transgression is noticed, but we didn't actually make the hunt. Even so, relationships have worsened with Raccoon Clan. So since Chirpmark and Hairpaw both wanted to go on patrol together, I sent them out training by themselves. Chirpmark suggests this might be a good chance to practice new fighting techniques, and both cats have a nice practice session swapping tips and tricks with each other. Oh, and here's exactly what I was talking about. There's dark clouds on the horizon. We wonder if we should continue. We're not going to. Brighthorn especially does have a few extra passes. She has 3 in total, so she's used 1 of hers. I'd rather not risk losing so many cats in one go. We'll go ahead and do another time skip here. Okay, so Chirpmark sits in the crowd, chest puffed out in pride as they watch Hairpaw be named Hair Shadow and honored for their wisdom. They consider themselves lucky to have been able to train such an amazing young cat and look forward to seeing the warrior they become. Timetail got their paws stuck in a 2-leg trap, but luckily escaped with only a sprain. Acorn Crest has gotten fleas. And once again, Fog Ember considers Merkpaw's leg. It might be possible to re-break it, but it'll likely always heal twisted after this. Instead, they leave it as it's healing. So it could just be because we don't have the most medicine cats or the most experienced medicine cats. But 3 out of 4 cats that had a broken bone have had a problem now. So Merkpaw does have a twisted leg. They are insecure, but he is back up and going now. I'm gonna just go ahead and roll to see what he gets. This will be either paw or body since it's his entire leg. Okay, so Merkpaw actually gets a new trait for us. He has thumbed paws. So that will maybe help out with his disadvantage on his back leg there. So as Siriusar is going to get to know Merkpaw better. Fog Ember is thinking about taking on new apprentice. We definitely really need that right now, especially since she is a senior adult. Timetail is injured with a sprain and has the apprentices very engaged in a very tall tale. Crowd Smoke is planning to visit the medicine cat, their parent, so that's not surprising. Air Shadow grew up to be insecure with a keen eye. I do suppose I'd rather insecure than bloodthirsty. And is going to get to know Bright Torrent better. We've seen Merkpaw here is practicing newest battle moves. Poolpaw is all grown up and is currently dreading their apprentice duties. They should be getting graduated next time, though, it looks like. Iris Paw is trailing a little bit further behind. This is him all grown up. He's got a very cute little heart. But he's only at 30 experience, so he could be a little while yet. And he's currently eavesdropping on Hair Shadow, his sibling. So I'm going through relationships for the first time in a while. Wisteria Star hates Acorn Crest, but he is developing a bit of a crush on Bristle Splash, which does seem to be being returned at least a little bit. Bristle Splash does also like Chirpmark. Okay, well I'm glad I did this because I didn't realize just how many crushes were floating about. Snip Husk has a crush on Timetail and Dunebriar, and gets along with quite a few other cats besides. It looks like Timetail returned Snip Husk's interest. It looks like Dunebriar also has quite a bit of a crush on Snip Husk. I do think we're gonna go ahead and put Snip Husk with Timetail. They both have feelings for one another and they have compatible natures. So we'll try them out together. You can always add or change things needed to. Fog Ember doesn't really like anybody like that. Chirpmark also doesn't really like anybody like that. We'll go ahead and pair these two maybe. It's a neutral trait anyway. And it'd be an interesting pairing. Yeah, that's pretty strong like for one another anyway. Praetorn still doesn't have any strong feelings like that. Timetail, just like Snip Husk, has a maybe slight crush on Bright Torrent. Acorn Crest really doesn't like or dislike anybody to the extent that others seem to feel about her. There's some mutual dislike with Wisteria Star, but it's definitely not as strong as what Wisteria Star feels for Acorn Crest. And none of the young cats have developed any crushes or anything of that nature yet. But some of our older warriors are getting a chance at love, so I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. I will probably try and send those pairings out together where I can. I'm trying to do as many border patrols as I can because that also increases our chances of encountering like kitty pets and things like that. Timetail is unavailable, so Snip Husk is just going to focus on training these older apprentices. They carefully learn to navigate some tide pools. Oh no. Okay, so I sent them out on a border patrol altogether here. Chirpmark is in the lead, and Chirpmark does not have any mutation, so she has 0 passes, and it is dark clouds. So we're going to be forced to proceed here. And luckily the rain never comes. We notice OggClan renewing their scent marks ahead. And we greet Wisteria Star respectfully, remarking on the weather and inquiring politely about the youngest members of the clan. Wisteria Star smiles, impressed. Probably talking about that gray sky that luckily never came. And we'll go ahead and time skip again here. Wisteria Star rests her muzzle on Poolshade's head and declares them to be a full warrior FrogClan, honoring their adaptability. Crab Smoke got their paws stuck in a 2-leg trap, and while they eventually escape, their leg is heavily injured. Oof. And as the herb stores are inspected, it's noticed some raspberry went bad and will have to be replaced. So this is going to be quite an interesting moon. I'm honestly kind of glad that the events that we do aren't actually in-game, because with the sheer number of leg injuries that we have, I don't think our clan would be very well equipped for anything here. So let's take a look. Crab Smoke. It's wondering about prophecies and has a mangled leg. So we can only hope there. Poolshade turned out to be adventurous and an eloquent speaker, which it looks like they were influenced by Snip Husk to be more likely to be ready for a fight, refrain from socializing, and heed their inner compass. Snip Husk helped them become better arguing. They are honored for their adaptability at 13 moons old when they graduated. Interesting. Didn't realize just how in-depth some of these were getting. So, like Hair Shadow was mentored by Chirpmark. Chirpmark influenced them to be more likely to use words over teeth and claws. Surprising. Bicker with others and break rules that don't suit them. Less surprising. When they graduated, they were honored for their wisdom. Very cool, though. The Siriusar is presently wondering how many cats would agree to changing the clan's name. FrogClan isn't exactly the most eloquent of names, I will agree. Fog Ember is proud of their ability to care for their clanmates. Churmark is trying to set a good example. Acorn Crest is feeling a bit anxious after having been around so many cats at the last gathering. Merkpaw doesn't want to go on patrol with Pool Shade now. Iris Paw is trying to recruit other apprentices for a quick adventure. So Iris Paw and Merkpaw are really both about the same levels up behind. They're both around 36, 37, and when they need 54, so hopefully they'll get there in the next couple moons, but they'll be pretty late graduators, really, as far as things go. Trailing behind the patrol to dune, they're crossing schist beneath Merkpaw's paws. They look around wildly for safe footing, just as the sand caves in beneath them. Playmates come running at their yowls, and Merkpaw is soon freed, shaken but unharmed. The patrol settles down, everyone comforts one another. It's always such a scary prompt. It happens pretty frequently. For the most part, it's fine. But, youch. During an odd moment of downtime, Bristle Splash asks with Siriusar if they think they're a good teacher. Bristle Splash talks about how they want to get better at mentoring and helping FrogClan's apprentices. Siriusar really admires them for their determination to always improve upon themselves. As the patrol is marking the border lines, a gang of rogues stalks out of the beach grass to confront the clan cats. We couldn't not proceed here because Shirtmark is leading this patrol, but with two bloodthirsty cats, I don't think they would have been backing down anyway. But Poolshade's the one that takes the lead, confronting the gang with confidence. Dorgs admit that they've been struggling to find enough prey and were looking to steal richer territory. Tensions are eased when Poolshade informs the rogues of prey-rich forest outside of FrogClan territory. We're definitely getting up there now. We still have quite a few moons to go, though, so I'll just keep things moving along here. Time skip. Timetail can walk and move without pain, as Frey must have healed. Acorn Crest's gotten rid of their fleas, and it's noticed that some Betony has gone bad. So, relatively low event, but I'd much rather low event than Billion Cats got hurt or something. The difference between Summer and Leafall on this background is so jarring to me. Merkpaw is sure that they'll fail their assessment. Irispaw is gossiping. But they're both at 49 experience, so they should both be graduating next time at 15 moons, I hope. Fog Ember gathers some marigold. Since this is probably going to be their last training patrols, I'll just send these guys out along with their mentors. So we find the ginger kitty pet thing again. And these ginger cat statues, Sniphusk heard a kitty pet call him Garfield. Sniphusk explains that for whatever reason, Two Legs worshipped the ginger cat so much that they made statues that they threw in the ocean. While out training together, Irispaw starts an argument with Dunebriar about the technique they're working on. Dunebriar rolls their eyes, as amused by the apprentice's audacity as they are annoyed. The patrol look around for something to disguise their scent while hunting, and they roll it in a patch of garlic, which works perfectly. It's a funny taste to wash off their pelt, though. So we notice StarClan renewing scent marks. We eventually cross paths and an awkward tension fills the air. No one's quite sure what to say, and we eventually shuffle along on our respective patrols, worsening our relationships. We meet OggClan, a clan we consider to be allies, on our patrol at the border. We share recent news, how prey has been running, new apprentices and kits, and other information. We part on good terms, camaraderie continuing to grow. Very nice. Okay. Without much further ado, we'll go ahead into our next time skip. Okay, so we do finally have some graduations here. Merkpaw grumbles to himself as with Siriusar changes just a single word in the ceremony, but knows better than to correct them during such an important one. They can speak to a Siriusar about it later. But for now, they listen as they're given the name Merclaw and are honored for their insight. Wisteriasar stands above the clan and proclaims that Iris Paw shall now be known as Irish Stripe, honoring their boldness. Fogember gives Irish Stripe something to adorn her pelt as congratulations. Irish Stripe's tail was badly injured by a dog. Bristle Splash comes to Fogember, feeling like their weak leg is going to collapse under them from the pain in its joints. Oof. And it's noticed that some time has gone bad and will have to be replaced. But Timetail finds an abandoned kitten and names him Grey Kit. So we do have a new kitten in the clan. I'll have to go through Grey Kit's things and see if it's Fogember's welcoming Grey Kit. I'm gonna have to go through and see if Grey Kit has any relationships with Timetail, or if that's just gonna be a random roll from mutations there. But let's take a look at our newest warriors. So Merclaw ended up being strict, a fantastic healer, and is currently grooming themselves, making sure every whisker is in place. Irish Stripe here is eavesdropping on Poolshade, is adventurous, a good speaker, and a good hunter. And they have a mangled tail. Now the thing with this is that if they do end up with a scar on their tail, some others suggested that, because I forgot about the scaly tail thing, that could be like a hidden trait that would emerge later, recessive I suppose. So if Irish Stripe does get the scar on their tail, they will end up with the scaly tail trait. I think that is kind of an interesting way to keep some new traits in the mix as well. And here's little Grey Kit, who's looking around the camp with wonder. She is a 4-moon-old Zakoki pelt, mostly white though, with gray eyes. She is impulsive and an avid play fighter and is abandoned. So let's see here. So Grey Kit is just considered an adoptive kit for both Snip Husk and Timetail. I do like how intense some of these family trees can get now though. So like let's take Wisteriasar for example here. We can see Brookfruit, who's not blood related, a previous mate in StarClan. Bristle Splash, not blood related, and a current mate. Kits, we can see the full kits, who their parents were with Wisteriasar, whether or not they would be adopted. Can select any number of them. And then you can see, you know, sibling kits, current kits, and whether or not they're adoptive. So I really like their new family tree mechanic. It feels very intuitive, I suppose. But because Grey Kit here is just listed as adopted, despite their parents being Timetail and Snip Husk and having amazing mutations between the two, we'll just roll as if they are a brand new cat to the clan, which they are. And they actually do come with a trait. We'll just have to see which one that is. So it looks like she has something on her eyes. So it looks like Grey Kit has slit eyes. Let's see how everyone else is doing then. So Snip Husk is wondering how Bristle Splash is doing, which isn't really surprising now because Snip Husk is Bristle Splash's adopted kit. Bristle Splash is trying to keep a good example. Brighthorn doesn't want to go on patrol. Crad Smoke is currently basking in the sun, taking a break with their leg. Hair, Shadow, and Poolshade are both sparring. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and go on more patrols here. Fogember gathers some more moss. Quietly, Bristle Splash brings Wisteriasar aside as they work on their chores, asking for help with wording something difficult. Wisteriasar gives them all their attention as Bristle Splash talks about how, hypothetically, they were interested in another warrior, how one might go about it, hypothetically for a friend. While on patrol, Timetail notices some suspicious paw prints in the wet sand on the beach. Boldly, Snip Husk follows the paw prints to trespassing rogue and confronts him. Snip Husk and Timetail demand the rogue leave. Intimidated by their confidence, the rogue gives in and leaves without a fight. Chirpmark sees two kits from Clan playing close to the border. I think we'll go ahead and proceed here. As Chirpmark goes to step over the border with the Acorn Crest to retrieve the kits and bring them to their clan, they stop as they hear an Clan patrol shouting for the kits. Chirpmark is released to know that they'll be safe with their own clan and resume their patrol. The patrol doesn't realize that the Clan cats saw them cross the board and now look upon their departing backs with fury. Oof. Okay. Well, that's what we get for trying to be helpful, I guess. But we'll go ahead into our next patrols here. So into Moon 80, our only new note is that Crab Smoke is limping around camp. Happy to be up and moving, but the new limp is now probably permanent. So, unfortunately, our luck with leg injuries is not getting better. But we can really hope that it'll at least work for our purposes here. So Crab Smoke also has a weak leg, permanent condition. And Crab Smoke actually gets talons for her paw trait. So she has very powerful claws now. So Assyria Star and Snip Husk are both eavesdropping on Murklaw, which makes me think if Murklaw is doing something they shouldn't be. Everybody's eavesdropping on everybody this moon. Acorn Crest is wondering how Grey Kit's doing. Grey Kit currently has so much energy. So cute. We actually have just a few short moons now, I'm realizing, since we're up to 80, before we roll to see what danger is going to be taking place here. Look at all these cats with all these leg scars. Fog Ember gathers some elderlies. With Sirius Star and Bristle Splash hear a cat begging for their housefolk to come back over the sound of monsters speeding away. But Sirius Star finds a kitty pet collapsed by the thunder path, wailing for their housefolk. With Sirius Star comforts them, asking why they're left here, and the only thing that they can think of is that they've been too sick. They tentatively accept our offer, looking longingly at the thunder path as they are led away. And Egypt has joined the clan. Let's take a look at Egypt. Okay, so Egypt is an adult female with emerald eyes and mackerel pelt. She is vengeful and a renowned hunter, and she is sick with red cough. So unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna really see Egypt heal, but just in case, and just for the sake of it, I am going to roll and see if Egypt does have any traits here. Oh, Egypt actually has multiple traits. That's very nice. Egypt has 3 traits total, so I'm going to do a lot of rolling here, and we're going to hope that we can actually heal this cat. Okay, so Egypt got some interesting traits here. She ended up with a seal nose head, adaptable vision eyes, and a glider body. But she does have red cough, and red cough, so far for me anyway, has basically just been a death sentence, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what happens there. Timetail finds an abandoned kit whose parents are nowhere to be found. We rush the kit back to camp, who's nursed to health and promised a place in the clan, and Shadow Kit has joined the clan. Oh wow. So Shadow Kit is actually the exact same age as Grey Kit. She is also a young female with sage eyes, a single color pelt with one little marking on it, looks like. She is a know-it-all and curious about StarClan. I am just gonna set Timetail and Snip Husk as adoptive parents because they went out together and found Shadow Kit, and just the fact that they're the same age as the already adopted kit is just way too perfect for me. But we'll roll and see if Shadow Kit has any traits now. Shadow Kit does not have any traits, so Shadow Kit is a normal cat. That's just too good. Okay, anyway. Okay, so the rest of the patrols weren't as exciting for new members. It was just us fighting awesome dogs and such on the border. But next moon, we're gonna see the new adopted kits grown up. I'm excited. Okay, it looks like a lot happened, so we'll just go down the line here. As Greypaw touches noses with crab smoke, they hope they'll get to do something that will really impress the clan on their first day. Maybe catch a rabbit or chase off a fox. That'll show the clan they're the best apprentice anyone's ever seen. Shadowpaw purrs so hard that they're shaking as they touch noses with Sniff Husk. Shadowpaw, since they had an interest in StarClan, I'll take a look and see if they could be a good material for medicine cat duties. Greypaw I think is going to be a bit too rambunctious, but look at Cinderpaw and Descenderpelt, it could be a good match too. And unfortunately, Egypt does pass a red cough, which is not surprising, especially since we're into Leaf Bear, but it is disappointing. Merclaw was bitten by a snake, but has miraculously survived. Bristle Splash's joint pain is gone. Greypaw was dragged out into the ocean by the tide and inhaled a lot of water before they got out, but they've been hacking and sputtering since. And our burdock has gone bad. So, Wisterisaur and Bristle Splash are fighting over kits. Yikes. Always have those kinds of discussions before you get into relationships, but anyway. Let's see our lovely new apprentices here. So this is what Greypaw is going to look like healthy. She is vengeful and an avid play fighter, and is talking to herself right now. Shadowpaw is charismatic, curious about StarClan, and is feeling proud of the progress that they've made. I have a feeling that because Shadowpaw aged up with interests about StarClan, that she could very well end up with a strong connection to StarClan, but she is normal, so I forgot about that rule. She cannot be Medicine Cat Apprentice. So Shadowpaw is unfortunately going to just say a warrior, and for now Greypaw will as well. Snipusk is wondering how Egypt is doing. Unfortunately, we now know how Egypt is doing. Bristle Splash is eavesdropping on Wisterisaur. Let's see how their relationship's doing. Wisterisaur's hate for Acorn Crest grows by the day. It's still pretty strong despite their argument. Bright Torrent is wondering if they could kill a fox by themselves. Hopefully Merclaw heals from that snake bite. Let's send these guys out. Snipusk suggests it could be a good chance to practice teamwork, particularly with Shadowpaw. And the family has a nice practice session, and the coordination grows stronger. Shadowpaw really gets into it. Fog Ember gathers some horsetail. Ooh, we encounter a sandy beach where a lot of two legs linger. We're gonna go ahead and not proceed here and use Wisterisaur's pass, because I'm not gonna be messing around with cats getting trapped when we're 9 moons away from our next event. Especially not one of our few couples in the clan. Okay, so the patrol hears desperate screams coming from a nearby lake. We race towards the sound and are puzzled when we see only a lone two-leg, but grim realization soon dawns that after they hear more screams coming from a bag the two-leg is holding. Jumping into action, FrogClan cats startle the two-leg into letting go of the bag, while the rest of the patrol claws the ankles of the now furious two-leg. Dunebriar and Bright Torrent quickly and quietly get the old shivering cat out of sight, promising them safety and welcome in FrogClan for as long as they like. Timber Hale has joined the clan. You know, the sad thing is, being right on the beach, like, the cats could very easily encounter something like this pretty frequently. Oh wow. Okay, so Timber Hale is a senior female with cobalt eyes, She's lonesome, a good kid sitter, and a good speaker, formerly a kitty pet. Injured with a broken jaw. Aw. She has a red leather collar, but that sure looks orange to me, and she is a whopping 299 moons old. This is what she would look like healthy. And this is what she looked like in her youth. That's definitely an orange collar. 299 moons, goodness. Can't get over that. How many years is that? So, 299 moons old is 24.92 years old. Wow. If she makes it one more moon, she'll be 25 years old. That's a pretty old cat. Okay, but speaking of one more moon, we are going to go ahead and time skip now. We'll get our new prophecy at 84 moons, and we'll find out what danger we're going to be facing then. So at 82 moons here, Hair Shadow's gotten a stomachache. Fog Ember helps Irish Stripe bury their tail wordlessly, hoping the ritual brings them closure to the trauma of losing it. I can't really say that that's a surprise, given our recent run-ins with some of this. But I think it'd be very interesting to say, since Irish Stripe was going to have a scaly tail anyway. Oh, it's like a cute little bobtail now, though. I'd say Irish Stripe, like their main tail falls off and then a dormant condition comes in and regrows as a scaly lizard tail. So, you know, it could be worse than that. There we go. It stinks that half our clan has twisted legs and missing tails, but, you know, we could be in worse oppositions as far as other things go there. And happy birthday, Timber Hale, you made it to 25 years old. You're almost as old as Purdy. Oh wow, that's a name we haven't seen in a while. Mysterious Star is wondering if Lightseeker's doing well in StarClan. They had some like for Lightseeker there. Snipusk is wondering who will give them 9 lives. Fog Ember is hoping for a message from StarClan soon. She probably knows that's about time that they get their indication for whatever is to come. Is probably getting anxious that it hasn't come yet. Dunebriar wants to be chosen as new deputy. Well, you do actually have a trait now. Crystal Splash is repairing a camp wall. Bright Torrent is sharpening their claws. Oh. Bright Torrent is no longer bloodthirsty. Bright Torrent is now just fierce. So apparently even those traits can evolve over time. I know that these can improve with experience and age, but I didn't realize that you could go from bloodthirsty to like fierce just over time. Maybe if you don't act on those traits. Murklaw still hurt with a snake bite. Her Shadow's finding Shadowpaw annoying. And Pool Shade's eavesdropping on Greypaw. Shadowpaw's wondering if StarClan had given Fog Ember any prophecies. And Timberhale is thinking about how too many cats die young. Okay, let's do our patrols here though. Fog Ember digs and digs to try and find some burdock, but they eventually have to admit failure. The colds leach the heat from their pelt, and they arrive back at camp miserable and cold, and they get shivering. Fog Ember's probably just getting more and more desperate because of the upcoming event and not knowing what to prepare for. Trailing behind the patrol, the dune they're crossing shifts beneath Timetail's paws. They look around wildly for safe footing, just as the sand caves in beneath them. Their mate and adopted kid come running at their yowls, and Timetail soon freed, shaken but unharmed. The patrol settles down as everyone comforts each other. I thought it was just apprentices that can get that, but I guess it's anybody in a training patrol. It's always scary. So the patrol tracks the scent of a large dog wandering at the edge of the clan's territory. Dunebriar does technically have a pass for her scar, but are these 3 cats enough for a large dog? I don't think we are. So we'll use Dunebriar's pass here. We're approaching the end of that time anyway, so we may as well use it. So we do encounter a kitty pet who's interested in joining the clan. We banter, making them feel more welcome. We don't have to do much convincing, the kitty pet seems happy to join. Necroleaf has joined the clan. I'll probably change that name because I do not know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Let's see. Necroleaf. Aw. So they are a senior adult male with a tabby pelt and dark blue eyes, 114 moons with a blue bow collar to match their eyes. He is confident, an eloquent speaker, and clever. So I'm just gonna randomize that. Okay, so the most immediate thing it changes to is J, which with the coloration there I think isn't the worst thing ever. J-Leaf, welcome to the clan, and let's see, please, if you have a trait you're bringing with you. And he actually has multiple traits. Even better. Just 2 though. Let's see what those traits may be. Okay, so J-Leaf has 2 traits, tattered ears and a small body. So, a very worthy addition indeed. And with that though, we'll go ahead and save here and time skip again. Okay, so we don't have enough healthy medicine cats. I think we just outgrown what FrogClan can do. I don't think anything's happened to them. But Dunebriar's bad leg is healing particularly sore this moon. Merclaw's snakebite has healed, but the injury left them scarred. That's good. We can leave a mutation for that. It'd be really cool if it was like venomous or poison or something. Hair Shadow no longer has a stomach ache. Timberhill drifts in and out of consciousness as infection grows in their broken jaw. The medicine cat apprentice from StarClan comes asking for mallow. They don't say why they need it, but we still give it to them anyway. Same thing there. And Snipusk finds a warrior from StarClan named Seifer who asks to join our clan. We won't question that. Let's see here. So Seifer is an adult male with bronze eyes, a single color pelt. He is confident with helpful insight. And I feel like I've never seen this before, where a cat will just come over to join from another clan. So if they're not coming to be with a mate or something, I feel like the only reason they would choose our clan is because they do have a trait. I'll just roll to see how many. It looks like just 1, which is fine. That's still better. It looks like they would have rolled to get a trait anyway, so no harm, no foul there. Hey, and they actually have a streamlined head, which would help in some aquatic events. So Seifer is not the worst name ever. Oh no, FrogClan is hurt. She's shivering and frostbitten and can't work with that condition. Okay. Oh yeah, Merclaw, who's getting all kinds of beaten up here, poor thing, gets another trait. We'll roll for their body since that's where that really seems to be. It'd be pretty cool if we got a poisonous blood body, just saying. No, it actually looks like we ended up with a muscular body. Oh wow. With all of Merclaw's various additions, I was curious to see if he had any relationships with anybody for, you know, possible kithood'em. And Merclaw and Bright Torrent are apparently going very strong. So I think we'll just let them be together. Wow, okay. Yeah, Very nice. Okay. Mysterious stars having no thoughts had empty syndrome. Chirpmark is growling to themselves. That's probably not good. Bristle Splash is grateful to Fog Ember for their treatment. I do think I'm actually gonna switch Bristle Splash over to Medicine Cat. They have the traits Camp Keeper, Natural Intuition. And I don't know, that just feels like the kind of thing a cat would be better at doing for Medicine Cat duties than some of our other ones, so we can care for 15 members. I mean, to be blunt, we're above that anyway, but I'm hoping having at least one active cat's gonna minimize some of this issue. Brighthorn trying to set a good example. Tinetail runs out of their den into battle, only to find it was just a storm. Poolshay is a jing for some excitement around camp. Be careful what you ask for, Poolshay. Greypaw, who is still injured with water in their lungs, is nervous about an upcoming assessment. With 0 experience, I can't say I blame you there. Shadowpaw is a determined to master hunting technique by dusk. And Timberhail is wondering about Chirpmark. So Bristle Splash and Jayleaf go on a walk and talk together and gather Bettany, Marigold, and Ragwort while discussing a possible vision. Sniphusk takes the family out for some battle training, but no one sets up to teach, and everyone's awkward and irritated. As we're out on patrol, a storm descends, sudden and violent, putting an end to any other thoughts but survival. Finally, after what feels like moons, the snowstorm leaves and the cats trudge back home. But Brighthorn hasn't escaped unscathed, their body chilled and refusing to warm up properly. Poor Brighthorn. Cannot catch a break. We find a small dog who gets a lucky hit on Seifer, but together all the cats are still able to drive it off successfully. Seifer gets a torn pelt. We don't need all of this drama right now, guys. Luckily we escaped there. So next time, we're gonna roll to see what our extinction event is. I know I was gonna say we're gonna go all the way up to Moon 89, but I've been recording for an hour and a half, so I think we'll just get to the point at least where we resolve what our new event's gonna be, and we'll end it there. Okay, so not very many events, but they are pretty big events. Fog Ember shivers have died down, and she sighs sadly as Bristle Splash suggests that it's time to take the tail off. Welcome to the tailless part of our clan. The flesh is blackened from frostbite and obviously dead. There's no use, and Fog Ember agrees. Of rogue leads their litter to the clan, Hairshadow decides to adopt them as their own. Greypaw's lungs finally feel back to normal, and Seifer's torn pelt is healed. So it's been quite an episode already. We have gotten some much needed numbers and some much needed mutations, but looking in game, it definitely doesn't really seem like we've had the most positive effects here. I think I just got spoiled for the kits that came in. Let's see. Oh wow. So we have Shimmer Kit here, who is a female, young, copper eyes, a tabby pelt. She is bossy and oddly observant and is abandoned. Her parents are listed as Wood and Hairshadow. And here's Leopard Kit, who is, oh my gosh, gorgeous. Look at her. She is obviously also 5 moons, with an emerald and pale blue eye. Long fur, parents are Wood and Hairshadow there. She is charming and quick-witted. Okay, so Wood apparently is gone, and Hairshadow is the adoptive parent. So let me see here real quick. So here's Wood, who's happy that their kits are safe. She was a loner. Playful and a great kit sitter, senior adult. So what probably happened is that she just came by too weak and injured from the birth to drop off her kits. And then that is what that is. So we'll go ahead and roll. See if any of the kits here have any traits. Unfortunately, no. I really wish they had. Leopard kit's gonna be stunning when she's older. Okay, but Fog Ember also gets a trait here on her tail to accommodate for the loss there. And she gets an amphibious or aquatic tail. I think amphibious probably makes the most sense because kind of similar to Iris, I think it would be interesting if it kind of fell off from the frost and then grew back as something else. So kind of like a tadpole maybe. We'll change Bristle Splash back to warrior now. Okay, so none of our like leadership positions really have a note that they're sharing dreams with StarClan or thinking about somebody in the afterlife, nothing like that. So let's see which cat is bringing the message. Okay, so a lot of people are arguing in StarClan apparently right now. Saffron Fade is currently walking the drains of Fog Ember though, so I think Saffron Fade is going to be our messenger here. Now let me just go ahead and roll and see what our event even's gonna be. It can't be flooding or two legs because we've already had that. Well, I suppose that's only fitting for what we've experienced so far here. Saffron Fade comes to Fog Ember in a dream. Fog Ember is just now mourning the loss of her tail, but she is glad to see the beginnings of a new one forming. She can only think that StarClan is currently giving the clan, who have undergone quite egregious injuries, so many chances at whatever is to come, as the mutations seem to be coming faster and faster and more seem to be arising. She can only think it must be a reward of some kind. As she falls asleep, she is teleported back to that moment that she was stuck deep in the snow and cold, freezing. Only this time as she tries to get up, more and more snow falls, and her paws and tail and face grow colder and colder and colder, until it feels as if she's frozen solid herself. Eventually, a single cold star seems to shine above her, and a cat appears, seeming to be covered in frost, not starlight. She reaches down a cold, freezing nose to touch Fog Embers in greeting. Saffron Fade smiles warmly at Fog Ember and says only, "This is your next challenge," before Fog Ember wakes, shivering, and looking back to see that her tail is still blackened with frost. Before she blinks and the vision is gone, replaced now with what is, which is her tail already gone, but growing back with new hope. She is shaken as Bristle Splash, who is currently still helping her, enters the medicine cat den, bringing with her some shoots of newly growing herbs. Bristle Splash cocks her head to one side, asking what's wrong. Seeing the panic and deep shivers that are racking Fog Ember's body, she immediately goes over, curls herself up around Fog Ember, and comforts her. Together, the two cats approach Wisteria Star as soon as Fog Ember is able to stop to control the chattering of her teeth. Wisteria Star now has a lot to think about when it comes to what could happen to the clan, and the danger that he's going to have to guide them through. So that's our event. We'll wrap up with some patrols here and call it our episode. J-Leaf is also having nightmares. Brightorians rethinking their life choices, probably wondering in another universe what could have been instead. Crowd Smoke is nowhere to be seen around camp. Poolshade and Hair Shadow are currently sparring. They always seem to be sparring at the same time. Graypaw, who has next to 0 experience after a few moons in training, is making fun of Leopardkit because they're not an apprentice yet. Shadowpaw wants to be noticed by Wisteria Star. Timberhale is feeling unappreciated. She still has infection in her jaw. Graypaw really gets into the training. While searching for some specific herbs, Fogember is startled by weird sounds and whispers on the wind. Fogember follows the strange sounds and finds a struggling queen with their newborn kids clinging to them. Fogember tries to make the queen eat some strengthening herbs and slowly helps them back to camp. Thankful, the queen joins FrogClan with their kids. Very, very nice. So, I imagine Fogember is out looking specifically for herbs to help with cold and strength and frostbite, if any such thing exists. But we have Jirachi Lightning, Shimmerkit, and Spiderkit joining the clan. So this latest Shimmerkit's gonna get their name changed. But let's see. So this is Jirachi Lightning. Jirachi is a Pokemon, that one I know. She is an adult female with sage eyes, a very interesting rosette pelt, a white leather collar with long fur. She is loyal and a great climber. So this is what she would look like healthy. Very gorgeous cat. Let's see here. So we have this Shimmerkit, who is obviously newborn with silver eyes, a Bengal pelt, and is sweet, and has a permanent condition. So Shimmerkit here was born without a leg. We are just gonna change her name. Twilight Kit seems just as fitting. Then we have Spiderkit, who's a newborn male with green eyes, a smoke pelt, also sweet demeanor. So, our luck with legs continues, but that's going to at least be something for Twilight Kit, even if it's a random mutation. I'll roll for Jirachi Lightning, and then the other parent of these kits. And we'll just see then what they get off of those two. Okay, well my dice rolled away, but Jirachi Lightning actually hit the jackpot. Jirachi Lightning got the max number of mutations, which is 5. Our ears, we have deaf. You're bound to get a bad trait there. This is a very interesting image for Jirachi Lightning here. It really brings to mind just a very big, powerful cat, doesn't it? The deaf ears is definitely unfortunate, especially since we're going to roll for her kits as well. But I'll roll and see what the mate gets, and we'll compare the two. So the mate does have one trait. Their eyes. So the only thing that the mate had was adaptable vision. But that means that for the kits, they're guaranteed to either get slit eyes or adaptable vision. So we'll go ahead and see for them what they get. Everything else will be 50-50 unless they roll a random mutation, which I've had 0 luck with them getting. So no rolled random mutations, but Twilight Kit is for sure gonna have a random mutation, I think on their paws. So it'll be like 50-50 huge paws or something else because of the permanent condition of missing leg. But let's see what we got here. Okay, so poor Twilight Kit really rolled for some of the worst traits there. We got deaf ears, slit eyes, muscular body. We did not get the huge paws, so I just re-rolled to see what paw trait we would get, and it was talons. So I was really hoping we could skip out on the deaf ears, but it doesn't seem like we could. Let's see what Spiderkit gets. Okay, Spiderkit had better luck. We miss out on the broad head, but we also miss out on the deaf ears, so that's kind of neutral in and of itself there. We got adaptable vision from the dad, and then the muscular body and huge paws from mom. So that's our roles there. And now for the rest of our patrols. Okay, so we've had quite a few uneventful patrols, just generic meeting up with other clans. But here we see the sound of barking. Near the border, we spot a dog chasing something, but it's a cat. We swiftly jump into action, capturing the dog's attention, drawing it away from the cat. Murklaw stays hidden and goes to the cat while the rest of the patrol lures the dog away. They are unharmed, and this display of bravery makes them want to join the clan. Blitzo Shadow has joined the clan. Our relationship with outsiders improves. Blitzo Shadow is a young adult male with green-yellow eyes and a goody pelt, long fur, 31 moons old, a loyal, good fighter, and great speaker. Formerly a loner. So that's really exciting. We got another addition. And Blitzo Shadow also gets multiple traits. Let's see how many. Just 2. But just 2 is better than 0. Okay, so Blitzo Shadow, which is just such a fun name to say, has closed ears and adaptable vision on his eyes, which is going to be very fun. And just, again, general interactions with other clans, but everything's improved there. Now, I just want to say, between this screen and what we started off with, we are already in so much of a better position. I'm keeping my fingers crossed we can keep this up until the actual event in 6 moons, which I'm thinking next episode is just going to be kind of a speed run through the encounters and such, and then we're going to rush into the actual event, and then we'll end off with the event. So next episode could also be extra long, but I just don't think I could devote much more time to recording and editing this week. So I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you next time for that. Let me know who your favorite cat that we got this episode was in the comments below, if you're still watching. I will see you next time though. Until then, stay safe and bye!